Well, the political landscape in Rivers State continues to stir controversy following the appointment of Tony Okocha-Ibas as sole administrator, a move many legal minds argue lacks constitutional backing. Critics claim the position sidesteps the legislative process and potentially undermines democratic governance. Simultaneously, the resurgence of violent militia activity across various regions, including the Middle Belt and parts of the Northeast, has raised national concern. Armed groups are reclaiming territories, displacing communities, and testing the capacity of Nigeria's security forces. As public anxiety grows, stakeholders are demanding urgent action and strategic policy reform. Well, joining us now is Epelle, CEO and founder of TAF Africa, to dissect the constitutionality of the sole administrator's role in Rivers State amid accusations of a hidden agenda. He also weighs in on the growing threat of militia activity nationwide, warning of the risks of institutional silence and inaction. Good afternoon, Mr. Epelle. It's great to have you here on Newsday.
Hi, my good friend, Cynthia. I haven't been with you for a very long time.
I concur.
I catch you.
Yes, you have. I can't hide anymore, can I? Great to have you, even in spite of the matters that we're discussing. Now, on what specific constitutional grounds do you challenge the legitimacy of Ibas's appointment as the sole administrator, if that's your stance?
Absolutely, and I'm not afraid to state my position. Truly and really, constitutionally, I think we need to re-examine his position. Especially the fact that he is doing what I don't think, except there is a hidden agenda. But I think currently he's doing what he was not sent there to do. The mandate is clear. Make regulations, not law. Not arrogating onto yourself, appointing people that have obvious connection with interested parties. And I think it's something that we need to re-examine. He's perpetuating himself and making himself more illegal than a legal entity. Yes, the president appointed him. The fact that the president appointed him doesn't make it legal. And so he needs to be very careful. I'm concerned, Cynthia, I'm concerned because of the way and manner he is vulcanizing and, dismantling all the democratic system and processes. It's also very unbecoming. I heard, and I hope he's not the one that gave that instruction, to remove the suspended governor's photograph and portraits across the state. That is not what we need now, when all of us are pushing and towing the line of peace. And I've always said it on your channel and several, that the Rivers people, the youths, women, are peaceful people. And we will remain peaceful and law-abiding. There is no amount of provocation that will make us break the law, because we are law-abiding people. We're people who follow rule of law. The same thing that Siminalai was accused of not following judgment and rule of law, is exactly what they are doing. And that is concerning to me. And it is absolutely unacceptable, no matter how much power they have, money they have, guns they carry. We need to do what is right, what is needful, what is constitutional, and I think I somehow want to believe that the president was ill-advised in some of the steps that he has taken. Well, as a leader, he can beat his chest to say, I made the decision. That's what leaders do. But also leaders reverse themselves, when they know that the decision that they have taken does not go down well with the people. For heaven's sake, we are talking about the people. We are part of the citizens that the president is president over. And when we say to him what decisions that have been made is not comfortable and convenient for us, we must be listened to. You know, and I've always said it that there's an aspect of this president that I'm very a champion of, is the fact that he's a compassionate person. And that's why many times I hold back in my criticism, that some people have said, oh, well, you support the president. Of course, he's my president. There's no doubt about that. However, if they've taken a wrong step, I will say it, you know. And like I said, I respect people, but I don't fear people, you know. And I'll continue to let my voice count until the right thing is done. I believe he wants to do the right thing. It's most probably the people surrounding him are the one feeding him with this somewhat wrong steps that is being taken. The Rivers people are crying. The Rivers people will feel marginalized. I can't sleep. I feel this sense of injustice that is being done to us. And we can't continue this way.
All right, Mr. Epelle, what do you make of the fact that Vice Admiral Ibas has actually appointed 23 local government chairmen, as it were, and he says that it is urgent to do this to strengthen grassroots governance?
Aaron, my dear brother, what are we talking about? Can you be strengthening grassroots governance when you are, you know, on the trajectory to destroying the subnational? You know, I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. Now, I have made concerted effort and sought legal opinion of lawyers that I can trust. Not everyone. I don't trust every one of them. But those that I can trust, who can give me a cogent but a practical interpretation. I'm not a lawyer of the Constitution. And everyone says to me what he has done in terms of that appointment is unconstitutional, period. And so if you go by that, whoever he appoints, and by the way, we know that the appointment is a script of somebody behind the curtain, you know, because there is no doubt there are some people that have been appointed that we can trace to certain people of interest in this matter, you know. And that also brings us to this level of nepotism and favoritism and political, political favors, you know, which is given to people. And oftentimes, Aaron, my concern is that it defrauds people with competence as against to incompetent individuals, you know. So let's do an interrogation of the list of appointed people and see their connection with people of interest in this matter. And for heaven's sake, stop insulting our intelligence. We're too smart for anybody to bamboozle. We're too smart for anybody to feel that we don't matter. You know, you can say that I don't matter behind me, but when you say that I don't matter before me, that is gross insult. And many of us will not take it, you know. And I kept saying it. This state, River State, that these individuals, and I say both parties, have turned into a laughingstock. We have become one day several troubled states. We've been in the news for the past 2 years, and negatively so. Must we continue like that? Must the state be pulled down because of two individuals that ego-tripping, that will not come back together and see how we can resolve? The problem, Aaron, is the people. And it bleeds, my heart bleeds every time I remember what is going on with my people. I'm in touch with them, and I'm going to stay in touch with them. Sometimes I jet out and just to feel their pulse. The people are suffering. There is anxiety everywhere. The children are asking questions, you know. And I want to say this categorically clear. This president means well, peradventure. However, let him not allow this to be part of his legacy. It's not good for the country. It's not good for him. And like I said, I'm his fan in one area, in the fact that he's a compassionate person. I know that he has helped many persons with disability, help many individuals pay their school fees, you know, and all that. I'm begging you, Mr. President, repeat what you did in Lagos. Repeat what you did in Lagos. And for heaven's sake, you are one that we know. I know as a growing up how you fought for democracy, how you stood and gave your discomfort to democracy. And my question is, what has happened? Don't allow these cronies deceive you and erode the good democratic dividends and values that you have set for this country.
All right, Mr.
And that's
Epelle.
my appeal to you. You know, I respect you, I love you as a person, but I will be bold to tell you the truth, the pain in my heart,
All right,
the cry that I always, the tears that I always share.
Okay, Mr. Epelle, we have about just 1 minute.
Go
now,
ahead,
you've mentioned that one of the things, the major thing that you're a fan of this president regarding is he's a compassionate person. We've seen how numerous policies that have come about by his administration have left Nigerians in a state that were basically a shadow of ourselves. Now, in the event that your appeals fall on deaf ears, what's your next step?
There's no other next step other than to keep raising our voices. They cannot shut us down. When good people keep quiet, evil will thrive. I don't blame him for all the woes. I don't, to be honest with you. The thing I blame him sometimes is that his communication persons are not opening their mouth to admit that they inherited a dying economy from the past president. Just like they inherited this nepotism, appointing people that are of their disability. Buhari did worse than Bola Tinubu is doing. However, must we continue on the wrong trajectory? No. We must come to a point where we just say to ourselves, tell ourselves the truth, and reverse the course. I know that I don't have that time, but let me look through your lenses and ask my president. He is my president. I can't run away from that, right, you know, and I don't want to run away from that.
All right, Mr. Jacob.
Mr. President, the day you were born.
It's unfortunate we've actually run.
Give me a second. Give me a second, Aaron. Look, Mr. President, the day you were born, the whole world rejoiced. Only you cried. Live your life that the day you die, you will rejoice and the whole world will cry.
All right, thank you.
People are remembered by two things, the problem they solved and the problem they created. We will remember you by the problem you solve, and I know you will solve it. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for your time, Mr. Epelle, here on Newsday.